This home was built from what we understand in 1878. The tax records only go back to 1900, and they show that Dr. Argue, who was a physician here in Corning, bought the house. But when we were doing demolition, we came across a brick in the old kitchen that said 1878. So there's a little bit of a mystery between 1878 and 1900. But it was built as a residence. And then later in the 1900s, Dr. Argue added an addition so that his patients could come here to visit. And that's what we're going to see when we go inside. So here we are in the entry foyer. One of the things we learned is that all of this beautiful staircase and all of the trim throughout the house are done in chestnut, a wood that was used back there in the late 1800s and we now no longer have. The home itself, Mike, is called Queen Anne Eastlake, and the Eastlake part refers to the carvings in the wood you'll see as we go through. One of the things I always like to point out is this newel post. When we bought the house, there was a chandelier, a vase and a chandelier on top. And when we went to take it out, we discovered it was gas wired. And in fact, all of the wiring in the house was knob and tube, and we had to replace all of the wiring. We also had to replace the old boiler system and all of these amazing heat transfer boxes that were in the basement. We now have 3 new heat and air conditioning systems. The reason for 3 is because we want the 2 residents to be able to control their own temperatures in their own bedrooms. So let's go from the foyer into what used to be called the middle parlor. This is now going to be like a dining area. They'll have a conference table or a dining table where family could have a big dinner. And it'll have a small table where folks could wheel up to the table in a wheelchair and have their coffee or their breakfast if they're able to do that. And then we poked through the hole, through the wall right here to develop a kitchen area. And I'll show you that in a minute, but let's just focus on the front room for a minute, or the front parlor, which will become the living room in the house. You can see the beautiful windows. They were covered with wooden shutters that actually recess into the trim of the windows. There are 7 marble fireplaces in this house. They're all different from each other. So let's go into the kitchen. One of our goals in building this kitchen was to make it wheelchair accessible to many things. So we put in a microwave drawer at wheelchair level. So if someone wanted to warm up a cup of coffee or whatever, that's at that level. Same thing with water on the refrigerator door. They'll be able to access a glass of water, ice. The rest of the home is at this level, the standard level. There'll be an induction stovetop here. There is a board where we can roll out pies or whatever we're making. And then in here, this used to be an old bathroom, which we've converted into a new pantry. One of the things this house did not have is good storage. And now we have storage. So a lot of food items will be stored here, but also other items that need dry storage. So we can go from here right into the first resident bedroom. And I know this looks a little bit chaotic at the moment, but at the end you'll see a beautiful sunroom. That wood will be restored. There's a tile floor there, and there's beautiful doors that can close off the sunroom from the rest of the room. There's a fireplace in here, and now we've put in new French doors that will go out to a private deck. And right off this bedroom, we have a accessible bathroom. I can't show it to you right now because the door is being made, literally, for the bathroom. Now we move down the hall here to the second residence bedroom. This one, you can see the deck is already built outside of the French doors. And this room has a lot of wonderful light. And again, the bathroom is right off of here. And this one we can do fully accessible bathroom with sinks where a wheelchair could be rolled up right to the sink. If people come to the home by stretcher, on a stretcher, they're able to come right through here, go down this hall, and turn into the first room, or go across the deck and through the French doors into the second room. Now we're on the second floor of Bampas House, and this part you're looking at is still rooms for Bampas House, and I'll explain them. Beyond that wall there is an apartment that we are going to be renting, a one-bedroom apartment. So first is this room. This room will be a private office for when you need to do confidential work, and also a training room. We hope to have a hospital bed here with a mannequin, but right now we can't afford the hospital bed. But the Health Education Center has supplied us with a mannequin, so we just need the bed. And then down the hall here, the next room, I mentioned, I think, to you that if perhaps family came to see their loved one from out of town and they need a place to stay, they can stay here. We'll have 2 twin beds in here, another fireplace. None of the fireplaces operate, I should mention. But then they also have a small bathroom off of the bedroom. Sometimes you just need a place to get away. And this room is large enough that we can have comfortable chairs and a beautiful view and a place to get away. The last room I want to show you well, I guess it's not a room, it's the end of Bampas House. This wall designates the change into an apartment, and we're just working on that now. So what you just saw was the complete Bampas House tour.